Hi, so welcome back to our September 30-day challenge. So today we're going to focus on our feet and ankles. So just come straight into a tabletop position. So spreading out the fingers, shoulders stacked over the wrists, knees hip distance, and then just tucking the toes under. Start to tune into your breath, breathing in and out. And then start to press the hands into the mat. Arch through the spine, lift the chest. Press the toes into the mat. And then as you exhale, rounding out the back. Head and neck are released. Keep tucking the toes under. This time coming back through to your cow pose. Inhaling. Exhaling, rounding out the back, tucking under the toes. We'll do one more. Inhaling. And then exhaling, rounding out for cat. So coming back to a neutral spine, keep the left toes still tucked and then extend the right leg back behind you. Those toes stay tucked under and the heel just presses away. So stretching through the back of the Achilles. And then release that right knee back down to the mat, this time extending the left leg. So pressing the left heel away. And then release that right knee back into the mat. Take the feet a little bit, or knees rather, a little bit further away so it's a slightly longer all fours, and then tuck the toes under, lift the hips coming into a high plank so both heels are pressing away, as if you're pressing them into a wall behind you. And then release the knees all the way back down. So the toes stay tucked under, but just reach round with the hands just to make sure little toes are tucked under as well. And then start to walk your hands in towards the knees. You might want to stay here, it's quite an intense stretch, or you might be able to lift the hands onto the thighs, stacking the shoulders over the hips, or maybe bring the hands to the heart center, just to take my mind off the pain through the toes, but it's good to stretch them out. Turn the backs of the hands together, turn the fingers down towards the mat, and then draw the thumbs, little fingers back together into Lotus Mudra. So just continuing with that, breathing in and out through the nose, taking your Lotus Mudra and then taking it back in the other direction. One more. And then release the hands down to the mat, untuck the toes. Ooh, give the feet a bit of a tap down to the mat. And then we'll just stretch out the other part of the foot. So releasing the tops of the feet down to the mat. Start to lower the hips down towards the heels. And again, you might want to keep the hands extended out in front, or you might be able to walk the hands towards the knees, back behind you, and lifting the knees away from the mat. So you're almost sitting onto the feet, back the balls of the feet. Shoulders are relaxed. Hands can stay down by the hips, or again, you might be able to release the hands, bring them to the heart center. So connecting with the breath. Feeling that stretch through the front part of the foot. One more breath in and out. and then lowering the knees down, taking the hands out in front, and again just give the feet a bit of a tap up and down onto your mat. From your all fours position, tuck the toes under, send the hips up towards the sky, coming into a downward dog. So give the head a bit of a shake, and then also pedaling out the feet. So pressing one heel down and then the other. Coming back to still downward dog. And then bend the knees, lift the heels away from the mat, and then start to, with the knees bent, start to lower the heels towards the mat. So they probably won't reach, but you'll get a good stretch through the Achilles again. So lifting high and then trying to lower the heels back down, keeping those knees bent. One more. And then turn the heels together so the feet are sort of at 10 to 2, and just bend the knees and straighten. Coming back to your downward dog, bringing the feet hip distance, and then spinning the toes out so it's a wider foot position, still in that 10 to 2 position, and then walk the hands towards the back of the mat, starting to bend the knees, coming into a squat. So you might want to keep the hands down on the mat, or you can bring the hands to the heart center. The heels may not reach, doesn't matter. Lengthening the tailbone down towards the mat, and then just lifting onto each toe, lifting the heel, switching from side to side. And then pressing through the feet, coming all the way up to standing. So step your left foot forwards, so you're into a wide leg position, and then turn the feet so they're parallel. Take the hands onto the hips and fold forwards over the legs. Release the hands down onto the mat or maybe onto the block, and just pressing the outside of the heels to the outside of the mat. So the arches of the feet might lift. And then release the feet, take the hands onto the hips, press through the feet, come all the way up to standing. Spin the heels in and bend the knees, coming into goddess pose, taking the arms to shoulder height, finding a mudra, just joining the thumb and the first finger, and lift the right heel away from the mat, stretching through that right foot, and release, lifting the left heel and release, and just taking it in turns, lifting one heel and then the other. And then option to lift both heels and release. One more. Inhale and release. Straighten the legs. Release the hands, heel toe, the feet together. And then step to the top of your mat, bringing the feet together. So bring the hands to the heart center. Just lifting up the arches of the feet. You might feel the tops of the hips, the outside of the legs start to engage. And then pressing down through the feet, lifting up the heels, inhaling, come high up onto the tips of the toes, exhale, release. Inhaling, lifting the heels, exhale, release. One more, inhaling. And then taking the knees forward as you bend the knees, start to lower, coming all the way down into a squat with the knees together. So heels are still lifted. And then either using your hands or down by the sides to support you, or releasing the hands in front, just start to lower the heels down. Again, you'll feel a stretch through the backs of the heels, and then lower the bottom down. Lifting up the feet into boat pose, and then releasing the feet back down to the mat. So extend the left leg, take the hands around the back of the right thigh so that you're supporting the back of the thigh, and then you can just circle the right ankle, taking it one way and then the other. And then release that right foot down to the mat, drawing the left knee in. Again, hands around the back of the left thigh, circling the left ankle one way and then the other. Release that left foot down, bring the right foot into join. Open the knees out to the sides, coming into a bound angle, but starting to open the feet like pages of a book. So the little toes will come together, just separating the feet. Breathing in and out. And then turn the soles of the feet back together. Move the feet a little bit further away. Take the hands onto the calves, the ankles, and just rounding out the back, releasing the forehead down. Taking a couple of breaths, and then when you're ready, lifting the head back up, coming to an easy seated position. Bringing the hands to the heart center, taking a couple of breaths in and out. And then opening up the eyes. Thank you very much. See you next time.